argument of why Burke might have done this to his sister, and I want to know your honest opinion about whether it's possible.
Well, first of all, the theory that Burke might have done this brings up more questions than answers. But the theory goes like this. JonBenet had a piece of undigested pineapple in her small intestine, and therefore that was eaten near to the time of her death. The theory is that she took a piece of pineapple from Burke that he was in the kitchen, and he, in a fit of rage, hit her with a flashlight, which had his fingerprints on it, killing her, causing a blow to the head that killed her. The thing is that the flashlight with the fingerprints can't be dated. So those fingerprints are real. The fact that Burke recently did interviews in which he was smiling inappropriately, in which he was awkward socially, has led a lot of people to believe he's guilty. And it's a snap judgment by the public because of his affect. And the truth is, somebody who is weird doesn't mean that they're a sociopathic killer. Doesn't mean they're a sociopath. Doesn't mean they're a killer.
John, your opinion. You've studied this case since the get-go. Did Burke Ramsey kill his sister, JonBenet?
Dr. Oz, that is the craziest conclusion that any investigator can come up with. Anybody who's been in this line of work, the things you have to look at is the evidence. Whether it's the circumstantial evidence or the physical evidence, you have to look at the evidence. And you have to ask yourself, okay, there's this 9-year-old little boy who went through the issue of stun gunning his sister 2 times, placing a very sophisticated garrote around her neck, and strangling her. But before he strangled her, there was a sexual assault. And then he strangles her, and then after she's strangled, then there's a beat, some type of blunt force trauma to her head. I mean, think about that. A 9-year-old boy does this. There's just no way. Looking at the murder scene and looking at the evidence as an experienced investigator, I will tell you, in all my law enforcement experience, there's anybody looking at this will go, this makes no sense that a 9-year-old boy did this. Absolutely 0 sense.
So in 2008, 2 years after Patsy Ramsey dies from cancer, her husband and she are both exonerated by the Boulder district attorney. I know there's a difference of opinion between what the cops believe and what the district attorney believes. And some have called the apology a mistake. But that said, the district attorney has apologized to them. Do you believe Patsy Ramsey was involved in this murder in any way?
0. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all.
And after that, let's talk about DNA for a second. Because it was in its infancy in 1996. But there was DNA evidence at the scene. Please explain to everybody what was found and what that means. What kinds of questions does it raise?
Well, initially, when the DNA evidence was found, its touch DNA was developed. In 2008, that's why the Ramseys were exonerated. And it's because there was DNA found on JonBenet's panties, her waistband, and on her fingernails that did not belong to anybody in the household. So it was an unidentified DNA source, an intruder, which led me to believe it was an intruder. However, now we learn that touch DNA doesn't require as much of a sample, and therefore this could have been from a factory worker who was handling the package of the underwear that JonBenet was wearing. This could have been DNA from any given source. It doesn't exclude the Ramseys, as I once thought.
So coming up, John's going to show us evidence he says proves an intruder murdered JonBenet Ramsey, including one of JonBenet's autopsy photos. We'll be right back.